Greetings, Bat Family. Welcome back to Holy BatCast, brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for Holy BatCast. If you're a big fan of the show and you want to support us, you can do that on Patreon. I'll be honest, it's not just supporting us, it's supporting the entire Real Fans shows. I didn't want to set up a Patreon for every different show. But yeah, the Holy BatCast Patreon really helps make sure that all those shows keep going, and it's so helpful. So a big thank you to all our patrons. You guys are awesome. If you want to do that, you can go to patreon.com/holybatcast. We are part of the Real Fans Podcast Network. You can check out those shows at rf4rm.com. And as always, I'm your Bat host, Andy DiGenova. You can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd. It's just my name, Andy DiGenova. This episode's going to be kind of fun, kind of random, low homework, all things that we like. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite DC live action costumes. And joining me for that, I got not one, but two Bat pals. So first of all, he's back. He's a mainstay. It's Brendan Lowe. Hey, Brendan.
How you doing, my friend?
It's great. I'm great. How are you?
Good. Happy to be able to record this time. You know, middle of the week, and I've got a few days off work, so yeah, good to get another one in.
I know. Well, I mean, spoilers. People aren't probably going to hear this for a couple weeks, but that's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
But yes, I'm glad we got this to work out, and it's great that we're going to be joined by a friend.
Oh, I thought Eric couldn't come.
I said a friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Andy's friend. Andy's friend.
Yeah. My
Right.
friend. Your enemy. Why do you make enemies with all my friends, Brendan? What's your deal?
I just want you to myself.
I guess so. Anyway, you just heard his voice. He gets mentioned rather often on the show, so we figured he should just come on the show again. It's Joe Fornarotto. Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for having me again.
Thanks for joining us. And yeah, I mean, at this point, like, the fire rises. You and Eric, you are sort of we're family. We're podcasting family, and rarely does an episode of Holy BatCast go by where we don't mention you guys, and rarely does an episode of The Fire Rises go where you don't mention us. So we're like ghost hosts on each other's shows anyway. So we thought, like, let's just cut the BS and have you on for real.
No, I appreciate it. And after doing Real Fans, it's been a couple weeks of just getting to talk to you guys.
I know, great, and not just in the Messenger.
I'd like to see it happen more, to be honest.
Oh, well, that's nice. And I mean, it would be nice if Eric cared about us, or if Eric liked us, but he's apparently got better things to do this time.
If Eric cared and Brendan wasn't in Australia.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, it's a good call out. I mean, yes, this is Holy BatCast, and again, by the time people hear this, Halloween will be over. But if you guys are still in that spooky feeling, me and Brendan and Joe and Eric, he did make time for us that day. We did talk about all the films in the Conjuring universe over on the Real Fans show. So Real Fans for Real Movies, we did a whole Conjuring franchise rewatch, which was super fun. So if you're not ready to let go of spooky season, go check that out too. It was really a good time. But we have more fun in store today. We're going to talk about some DC costumes. And before we do that, though, I got to give a shout out to the folks who gave me the idea. And that is the folks over at the Soups and Sabers show. So I want to say a few months ago, but I think at this point it's more like 7 months ago. Those fine gentlemen were nice enough to have me on their show. And we talked about favorite DC hero looks. And it was more of like a draft situation, and it could be from comics or video games or any medium or animation. But we did it. It was really fun. If you haven't checked that out, go to YouTube, look up Soups and Sabers, Holy BatCast. It'll pop right up. It was a really fun conversation. And when it was over, I was like, guys, I hope it's okay. I might steal this idea. I'll change it a little bit. But it's just such a fun, simple topic, but also cool to talk about. And they're like, yeah, go for it. So big shout out to Soups and Sabers. Good people. Thank you guys. And yeah, I'm not opposed to stealing content ideas. But the difference is I like to give credit. So I said, okay, it was heroes only, any medium. And I was like, okay, let's do DC costumes, only live action, but it can be heroes or villains. And they did, like, again, a kind of a draft format. I'm not a big sports guy. Shocker, I know. So the draft format isn't that important to me. So we're just going to talk about 5 of our favorite DC live action costumes. So with all that said, check out Soups and Sabers, but now we're going to talk about our favorite. So here we go. Here are some of our very favorite DC live action costumes. All right, we each picked 5. Mine are in no particular order. And I'll tell you, it was one of the easiest lists I've ever had to come up with. I love those. I love it when we're like, hey, let's do this for an episode. And I can do the list in the shower in the morning and like, oh, I guess I'm done. I'm ready to go. So that was nice. So not only do I have my 5, I have like 5 backups just in case you guys pick all of my 5, which is literally impossible. But that's how easy it is and how fun it is. So even though we've each only picked 5, there are so many options of great DC costumes over the years. But here are the rules. It can be a hero or a villain. It's got to be DC. It's got to be live action. But it can be TV. It can be super, super old. It can be super, super recent. It can be anything in between. Movies, TV, whatever, live action, it is all on the table. So, with that being said, why don't we get started? Brendan, I'll let you go first with your first choice.
Right. Okay. Well, I figured I'd get this one out the way early, and that is the Batman Forever Robin costume. I think it is. I mean, not that there's been a hell of a lot, but it's one of the best live action Robin costumes. It's very faithful to the. I mean, it's essentially a 1995 version of the Tim Drake costume. Let's be honest. But I mean, there's a reason why with those Batman Forever action figures, the Robin one is, in my opinion, the best. Like that costume still just kicks ass. Weird codpiece aside on the actual costume itself, it's just awesome. And to see that on the big screen in '95, the first big screen Robin, the first live action Robin since Batman '66, and yeah, to this day, I still think it's pretty sweet. And only 2 years later, it had a big fall from grace. But this one I think still rocks.
Hey, Brendan.
Hey, what?
Who's your tailor?
I took the liberty, sir.
It's Alfred. Alfred can whip up a costume in
Can't he?
What?
Yeah,
he's so good. Sometimes he builds them without their consent, and it's just ready to go.
And they're molded to their body. Yeah.
While they sleep, he takes measurements of the people sleeping in Wayne Manor,
including their nipples.
Yes, and so he does. He literally sculpted his niece's nipples for the Batgirl costume, and had it ready because you never know. No, it's funny because as I was making my list, this one did cross my mind. I really, really like it. I have one little nitpick, which is the mask. The mask is just a little too much for me. I just wish it was a more traditional Robin domino mask, but from the neck down, I think it's great.
Yeah, I can see that, but I also think that mask is much, much better than what the original design was too.
Sure. But I also was like, well, I don't need to put it on my list anyway, because Brendan's going to have it covered. It's fine.
Well,
because of all the costumes, I knew this would be on your list.
Honestly, this was the one I was tossing up between this and the Riddler from Batman Forever because I really like both those. But yeah, I thought I'd go because I'm going first. I'm like, well, I'll get Robin in case you had it as well.
No, this one I literally, it did cross my mind because again, I really do like the costume.
Yeah.
And again, my thing is I wanted the traditional Robin mask, but now the mask they use, like it's a bit much, but it's also kind of the perfect bit much for 1995. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost metal for that movie.
Right. But anyway, no, I didn't even need to put it on my list because I knew it was coming. But it's a great choice because we've talked about it in the past of like, it is exactly what a Robin costume should look like through the lens of what the film Batman suits were like.
Mm. Yep. And I will say too, just to preface my list, I have deliberately only put one Batman in there because if I was being completely honest, 4 of my top 5 DC costumes would be Batman costumes.
Wow!
I had to look elsewhere, so I've deliberately only gone with one Batman.
Okay, that's fair. Anyway, sorry, Joe. Any thoughts on the Batman Forever Robin costume?
No, I pretty much agree with everything you guys said. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's perfect for that particular era of Batman costumes. I mean, it is exactly what you want from Robin. It's right from the page with that style, with that aesthetic. So yeah, I thought about picking it, but I gotta be honest, when it gets to my turn, I kind of prefer another Robin costume. So we'll get to that when it comes to my turn. And
Okay,
to
all
say
right.
what Brendan was saying though about how he only picked one Batman. Yeah, I tried to make mine a variety as much as I could, and then I'll kind of adjust with what you guys took with my backups. So because I think it would be fun to not have any overlaps. I mean, it's possible we're probably going to have one or two, but
It's fine.
we all know
It's not fun. It's not okay.
No, I want to talk about 15 different suits. That's the point.
Yeah.
We all have the same 5. No, yeah, like I get it. It's cool. I mean, I am afraid that Joe, we've already got overlap based on what you just said.
I don't think we do.
Oh, okay. Well, great.
We'll
see. We'll see how it goes.
We could.
We'll see.
But I think that's one of my backups. I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, let me ask you guys this question. Batman Forever Robin costume. Again, my big thing is the mask. If they took the mask from Batman and Robin and put it with the Batman Forever Robin costume, do you think that's an improvement?
Yeah, actually, I would.
I think so too. I think like just the mask and then the Robin costume.
Yeah. Yeah,
I never put too much thought into it, but yeah, I guess because the Batman and Robin one is the one that's more of like a point in the middle, right? It's more sleek.
More like the Nightwing mask.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, cool. Good first choice, Brendan. Batman Forever Robin.
I thought you were going Panther suit when you first said Batman. Forever.
Yeah. See, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, here's another spoiler. I don't have a single Batman costume on my list. Not because I don't.
Batman.
Not what? No. What are you talking about?
I'm sure me and Brendan have one, or at least one of us has one.
Well, here's the thing: we have already discussed all the Batman film costumes ad nauseum. So I was like,
exactly.
I feel like I don't really need to hit on any of those.
Yeah, that's why I had to include. I had to include one, but yeah, it's like I said, honest to God, hand on my heart. If I were to do top 5 DC costumes, 4 of my 5 would be Batman ones.
That's pretty cool. Actually, it's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Joe, what's your first choice?
So my first choice, I'll stick to the Robin, the Robin theme, and I'm gonna go Robin from 1966.
Wow.
And honestly, just because, you know how you said like the Batman Forever Robin costume fits with the 90s era, or that motif of costumes from that era. Batman 66, the Robin costume is just the Robin costume. They didn't do anything different.
No, it's ripped from the pages, costume. Yeah.
And that is still Dick Grayson's Robin costume in everyone's mind. That costume. And I love that costume. I do have to also, mention my dad, because that was like one of the things my dad always loved about Batman is the colors on the Robin costume. He always just loved that aesthetic to Robin. And it was just such a cool contrast between him and Batman. And we've been, seeing that forever in comics. And I just think that costume is perfect. There's no, the joke is no notes. There's no notes on that costume. It is perfect.
I love the choice. I did not expect that choice, but I love it because you're right, especially in context with the time it came out, is they just took what was in the comics and built it in real life.
Yeah.
No changes, no updates
at all.
Yep.
Yeah, it works for that show, obviously, because they didn't care, but it's still just the Robin costume. It just fits. So, it is definitely a little out of left field, and I kind of was picking it because I didn't think anyone else would, but I genuinely love that costume.
No, I think it's great, and I will be honest, it was one that crossed my mind.
Oh, good.
For all the same reasons, but yeah, that's great. Any additional thoughts on this one, Brendan?
No, to be honest, I kind of thought about 166 costume, but it wasn't this one. But yeah, I've never really stopped and thought about it, to be completely honest. But yeah, for that time, it literally was just ripped from the pages of the comic. Adam West Batman was similar. I I've never liked the short ears on the cowl. I'm like, you could have just given him like even the 40s costume had like longer ears on the cowl, but
it was probably easier for whether it be budgetary reasons or just
this is like 2 little bits of cardboard on there or something. But anyway, but like Robin is like I said, straight out of the comic book, 100%.
Well, and that was straight out of the comic book until the 80s. I mean, his costume did not change.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good choice.
Can we go 3 for 3 Robins? Come on.
Well, funny you mentioned because I think we can.
I thought we might be able to.
Yep. So let's keep it going. My choice is a Robin, and I am going with Brenton Thwaites' Robin costume from Titans. Bravo. Now here's the amazing thing about Titans. They gave us 3 awesome Robin costumes.
They did.
Like, say what you will about that show, and I get it. It had its ups and downs. The costume designer was a freaking brilliant madman or madwoman. I don't know who it was. Mad person. And freaking hit it out of the park every time. Every time.
Absolutely.
If I remember correctly, it's the same costume designers that do The Boys.
Oh, Interesting.
Okay.
Like they built an Aqualad costume for one episode and it was perfect.
Oh, I totally even forgot about that.
like they made Hawk and Dove look awesome in live action. Anyway, you joked before.
Deathstroke was awesome too. Like we thought the one in Arrow was kick-ass, and they bettered it.
Yeah,
like even Donna Troy, you could have done the black suit and been simple. Nope, they went red.
And it looked great. You even joked, Joe. I don't know if I want to get it, if I'm giving anything away, but you even joked before we did this. You go, can I just say Titans for all 5?
I wanted Titans just for one spot. Like, can I just have the Titans show as number 5? Like, because every costume on that show was on point.
Agreed. It was so good. But anyway, I only could pick one. Y'all know I love Robin. That Robin suit, the original one, but again, all 3 were great. Pick your poison. They're all great. But I'm going to go with the Dick Grayson one from the pilot. And I guess the first couple episodes before he becomes Nightwing. That suit was like amazing. It was perfect. It was right off the page. It was Robin. And it kind of felt like I don't know if they meant it to be, but it kind of felt like a middle finger to everybody goes, Robin can't work in live action. And then they gave us that. And it's like, you want to bet? Because he looks freaking perfect and he looks awesome and he's badass and the action is great. And holy shit, that's an awesome Robin. But that suit, it was also, it was the quote unquote modern version of the Tim Drake Robin suit. Mm-hmm. So if Forever was the 1995 iteration, this was what year did that show come out? 2018? Maybe?
Oh, yeah, 2017, 2018.
Yeah, 2018. It was the 2018 version, but it was unmistakably Robin. It looked functional, but it also had the colors. I liked the little tweak on the logo that they did, but it's still very much the Robin R. The long cape, the boots, like everything about it worked. The mask. Yeah. I remember when they revealed that Robin costume before that show came out, and I was like, holy shit, they did it. And one of my favorite DC costumes.
I was toying with having Nightwing on my list, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I figured if you were going to have a Robin, you'd have that one.
Talking about other costumes.
What was that?
I said, how about you let other people go before we start talking about other costumes?
Okay. Well, it's not on my list. I'm just saying I was toying with it being on my list.
Okay.
Listen, Brendan.
You have a tendency to just start naming other things, and
that cracked me up on The Conjuring. He goes, but I've also got to mention the cool part with the clothesline. I was like, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I haven't gone yet. Anyway, yes, the Robin costume from Titans. Holy crap, perfect. Joe, anything to add to that?
No, nothing. I agree with everything you said. It was definitely one that I considered. I assumed you were going to pick that one, so I'm like, you know what? Let me go with Robin 66 because I think it's just different.
That's great. I am so proud of us guys that we had 3 Robins picked. I didn't see that coming, but in hindsight, it makes sense. I love it. Makes me happy. All right, let's move on to our next choice. Is Brenton Thwaites? Brenton Thwaites. Brendan Lowe. What's your next choice?
Look, I have a list of 6 with one backup. So this next one I'm going to say, I really don't mean to steal anyone's thunder. It's just I didn't come prepared with a shitload of backups like everyone else. But I know that this will want to be spoken about. And that is the 2018 Aquaman costume.
Okay.
Because I mean, when we first saw Aquaman, like very briefly in BVS, and then obviously more so in Justice League, pardon me, it was very much what you would expect from a modern day live action version of that character. Comic books and cartoons, he wears bright orange and green. That's not really going to fly in a modern comic book movie. And then James Wan came along.
Unless you're freaking James Wan. Sorry.
And he's like, no, we're doing it. And by God, he pulled it off. That costume, I've seen it in real life. They had an Aquaman exhibit at Movie World around the time the film was in theaters with all the sets and costumes and stuff, because it was filmed at the studios at Movie World. And it's badass. Like, it's a modern version of the one from the comics without any, like, they don't shy away from it at all.
Yeah.
And it works. That's that finale scene on top of the submarine. Is it the submarine or whatever it is, Manta's thing?
It's flipped over with the propellers.
Yeah. With him and Ocean Master, and that, like, it just looks sick. And I that's one live action costume I never and to be honest, I kind of didn't really want. I'm just like, oh, that's no. I was very satisfied with what we had in Justice League until I saw it, and I'm like, wow, I was absolutely wrong, and that costume kicks ass, and I still love it.
The moment when he emerges in the costume for the first time through the waterfall, one of my favorite moments.
That was in your list, right? When you guys did the top moments, that was in one of your lists, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think it might have been. Much like Titans, you could just say the Aquaman films.
True.
Took the words out of my mouth, Andy. That's what I was going to say, because the Aquaman films, it's hard to not pick any of them.
Because, again, the costume designer / James Wan / art director, that team nailed it. They nailed it. Every single costume in those movies looks great. Aquaman has multiple looks in those movies, and they all look great. Like, I love his armor that when he fights Orm for the first time, like, that's really badass. So yeah, kudos to that entire team. But yes, the classic Aquaman costume, as you said, it didn't feel like anyone would have the guts to do it, and then James Wan did it, and it freaking rocks.
Yep. Love it.
Joe?
Yeah, I think if James Wan did Robin, he would include the pixie boots. Like, he just does it. And I was leaving that one off my list because I figured Andy would take it. But I'm sure Andy has other backups from the Aquaman movie that he would like to talk about. So I'm going to not say much more about the Aquaman movies other than, I agree. That suit is perfection. It really is. I know we were all disappointed, or a little disappointed, when they announced they showed the picture of the stealth suit for the sequel, and all of us were like, okay, that's fine, but please include the traditional suit as well. And he did in the sequel, so I'm glad they didn't abandon that.
And same. I was like, don't go with but they used it just right. Yep. Trust in James Wan. The stealth suit was used just right, and we got plenty of the classic costume. Nailed it. I'm going to jump ahead of you then, Joe, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Because I'm going to stay in the world of Aquaman, because the Aquaman suit was not in my list because I had to put one above it, and that is Black Manta. And you might be saying, Andy, are you talking about the Black Manta suit from Aquaman, or are you talking about the Black Manta suit from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom? And the answer is yes. because
cheater.
I literally can't decide which one is better. They're both so good, and yet they are so different. How did they create two perfect looks for Black Manta in two films? And I literally can't decide which one I like better. They're both just terrific. Black Manta, I mean, I've always liked him. I think he's a cool character, but my God, did the movies do him justice, not only in look, but in performance and in writing. I just love him in it. But when I saw that first costume in Aquaman, and I saw it, and it was like a mannequin that they had at Comic-Con in the suit, and it was up hanging from the ceiling above the Aquaman toys, and I was like, holy shit, that's what he's gonna look like. And I remember taking a picture and posting it and being like, oh my God, he looks great. And he did. And I saw the movie and I'm like, yeah, Black Manta, nailed it. Amazing. And then they're like, we completely redesigned him in the second one. I was like, you didn't need to. It was perfect. And then you saw the second one and you're like, well, shit, that's perfect too. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. So yeah, the Black Manta looks, I know, I'm sorry if that's a cheat. They're both just so freaking good. And I had to give it a call out here.
Yeah, I had a feeling if I mentioned the Aquaman suit that you'd have Black Manta in there. So I steered clear of that one because that probably would have been in there as well. Because as you said, perfection. There's nothing they could have done differently to make that costume any better. Ripped from the page. I really don't know that much about Black Manta in terms of the comics and everything. I haven't read a lot of Aquaman. But I've always liked the look of him. Like, he's an awesome looking character. And yeah, I love that scene in the first Aquaman movie, the montage of him trying putting the suit together.
Yeah.
And is it like a New Water song or something that plays underneath it? Like, it's really cool. Yeah. And like, as you said, to build upon it. And I mean, I can't even in my mind picture the second one because, and that's why, you picking both isn't a problem because they're both perfect and they kind of just meld into the one costume. Yeah. So no, yeah, good choice. Very good choice.
Thanks. Joe?
No, I love it too. I'm staring at the McFarlane statue right now of the Lost Kingdom suit, and I'm looking at that saying like, yeah, like that suit is badass. I got to go with that one. But I remember just loving the first one too. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I can't, like you said, they kind of do. They meld together into one suit. I don't think anyone would fault you for picking either one. So it's kind of one of those situations where like, does anyone like one and not the other? Like it kind of fits.
I don't know. Not that I've heard. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing what they pulled off. Same. I have the McFarlane statue. I'm glad I bought it. What pisses me off about it, tell me if this is the same problem, is the trident is too thick for his hand, so it bends.
Yep. We talked about that. It is like, it's like curved. It's bad.
So I took it out. Maybe that's why I got it on sale, because like there was some problem there. But that aside, man, that design is just amazing. So Black Manta from both films. Did I cheat? Yes, I did. Is it my show? You goddamn right it is. Anyway, Joe, what's your next choice?
So this is the one that I don't know if it counts or not.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. I have a guess, but go ahead.
Because it's technically not a costume, but I'm going with Swamp Thing if that counts. Will you allow that?
Yes, and let me tell you why.
Because it's practical?
Well, yes. Because it was one of my choices when I was on Soups and Sabers.
Oh, okay.
So I picked it for that. I'm trying to not overlap what I picked on that one. I think I have one that I'm gonna overlap on. But yes, I picked it probably for the reasons you picked it. So yeah, it's not a quote unquote costume, but it is a live action practical look for a DC character. So I will allow it.
Well, thank you for allowing it, because that look is perfect.
Agreed.
That show, I try to look at it as a mini series just because I don't want to go back on the depression of that show being canceled before it even aired.
Yeah.
But that show was amazing, and that look of Swamp Thing, I can see why the budget probably got out of hand when you rewatch that show, because it does feel like you're getting 8 movies when you watch that show. I just think the look is incredible. the eyes are what I remember the most. But I don't know. I don't even know how to describe how perfect it is, other than it just looks like Swamp Thing. There's no variation from the comics whatsoever in that look. He just looks perfect.
Yeah, preach. I am so there with you. Like when I saw him in live action for that show, not only did I say they nailed it, I also was like, I don't think anyone can ever top this look for Swamp Thing. It's so perfect that they did it. You know, like everyone else can stop trying. They freaking did it.
And if they
It's
go to
so good.
CGI at this point, it's going to be such a letdown.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. He looked so good in that show. Brendan?
Well, I won't allow it, and I call bullshit.
6 picks, so I'm good. We already talked about it.
No, look, I can't really add anything that you guys haven't already said. It's a costume. It's a guy in a costume at the end of the day. It's just the character's not in a costume. So yeah, of course it counts. Again, I've said this already, ripped from the pages. The fact that it was practical was amazing, and it still sucks that was all we got of that show.
Yeah. Blue Devil, man. We had Blue Devil for just one shining moment. We had him.
Well, just to go with what you just said, Brendan, it's ripped from the pages. I'm going to detect a theme with all 15 of these that we come up with. If we do 15, they're all going to be ones that look just like the comics. So take notes, people.
Yeah,
that's what we want. Like, it's not complicated.
I love when I'm like, hey, I wish the Scarecrow would dress like a scarecrow, and then someone will be like, fanboy. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I want the character that I like to look like himself. I'm so sorry. Yep, you're right. I'm the asshole.
Nobody's picking the Blur from Smallville in this list.
Right. The Thriller jacket.
Hang on, I got to pick another one.
Oh shit.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm picking.
I made you pick another one.
I'm picking the entire Smallville line of hoodies.
Yes.
All right, Brendan, what's your next choice?
This one, the second this came up, was instantly on my list. It's a no-brainer. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And it kind of disappoints me that she's become a bit of a meme lately. But it is what it is, and that is the 2017 Wonder Woman costume. Yep. What were you going to say, Andy?
It's become a meme?
No. From Wonder Woman 1984?
No, from 2017. So the Wonder Woman.
Oh, sorry, from the original movie. Yeah.
Yes. Like her acting has become a meme lately. Like people imitating and everything, and it's just like she's not the best actress in the world, but she was a hell of a Wonder Woman. So
people like to hate on things that people like. I mean, it was. That year was the year of Wonder Woman, and nobody said crap about it. And now all of a sudden, she's a terrible actress.
Well, here's the thing. Sorry, I know it's about the costume, but yes, I've seen that. It annoys the shit out of me because it's like people don't seem to understand the difference between having an accent and being a bad actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, she has an accent. Yeah, we know because she uses it. She doesn't know how to lose the accent. That's fine. But that doesn't mean she's a bad actor. And I've seen all the stupid impressions and all the stupid little montages. And I'm like, y'all, get a life.
Yeah. But I mean, again, you can't really say this one was directly ripped from the pages of the comics, but the inspiration is absolutely there. Like they didn't do like an X-Men and go, well, we have to put them in black leather as opposed to yellow spandex. Like, it's still very visibly the Wonder Woman costume, the red, the gold, the blue. It's got the gauntlets. She has a tiara. And yeah, I really like that. Would you call it armored aesthetic or more like like that wartime aesthetic to it? Like it makes
Greek
sense.
Armor.
Yeah. Like it makes sense. And it's, I mean, she didn't have the striped, like striped knickers, striped the knickers with the stars on them or anything, but she was never going to. And like that, these changes, this is the sort of thing where a change was made, and I think it was a change for the better. Yeah, I mean, she's stunning in it. Like, I'm not gonna, I'm not going to, avoid that fact. She's absolutely gorgeous in that costume. And I mean, that movie kicks ass. It really does. And the costumes are great. Oh, I mean, all the costumes in that, another one too, like they're all really, really solid.
Yeah. Joe, anything to share?
No, I'm glad you picked it because I had it as one of my fill-ins if I needed it. I love that costume. I agree with you. I like the Wonder Woman version more than the BVS version. I know it's the same costume pretty much. It's just a little bit brighter colors and more vibrant. Not quite as vibrant as the 1984 one. So it's like that happy medium. Yeah, I love the costume, and it might not be ripped straight from the pages, but years after that, they pretty much put that costume as the Wonder Woman costume when Rebirth started. So
Yep.
it kind of went the other way, where the costume made such an impression that Jim Lee, I think, is the one that said, like, no, let's put it in the comics. So I appreciate the backwards way of that happening.
And that's how good that costume is,
Yeah.
is that it is unmistakably Wonder Woman. They certainly made some tweaks to make it work better in live action, to work better in those films, but it was so good and so embraced that, yes, then it worked backwards into the comics, which then it's a success.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brendan, I did not
Mhm.
choose this one, but I chose I chose Wonder Woman 1984
Okay.
because it's the same costume but with brighter colors. Because the costume was very consistent between BVS, Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman 1984, and then even the cameo appearances. But I just leaned towards 1984 because I just loved the way the colors popped in that film.
Did they get
Again,
rid of the shoulder strap in that one too?
I think so.
I think
Yes.
they did. I think they removed like the leather strap.
Yeah. But aside from that, it's the same costume.
Yeah.
So I love the design in all of those films, but 84 is my favorite just because the red, gold, and blue are absolutely unmistakable, and I like colors.
I'm kind of more with Joe, whereas I think the one in Wonder Woman 2017 was the happy medium. But yeah, like I don't dislike the 84 one, and I'm glad that you chose it.
No, and
Well,
I don't
mean,
dislike
again,
it either. I don't
the
dislike
the
it either.
differences are negligible. Like it just depends. And yeah, I almost picked from the first film, but again, I gave 84 the slightest edge. But much like we said about Aquaman, is so much of the promo for Wonder Woman 1984 was that Golden Eagle costume, which is cool. But I was like, don't make it that and neglect the classic costume. And much like Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, they did not. Like the eagle costume was only for the finale. She wore the classic costume for the rest of the film. And yeah, it's just like, why mess with perfection? That costume's so great.
Yeah, I'm a defender of the 1984 movie, so I hate that movie gets so much crap, and I definitely do not hate the costume. I think it works perfectly well in that film. I mean, each costume, the little tweaks they made are made to just fit the film that they're in.
For sure. Yeah, agreed. But yeah, I just revisited it a couple months ago, and I really had a good time revisiting it. I'll be honest.
Well, I've said it for a while. It's such an easy one to watch with your kids.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. 2 Wonder Womans for and honestly, the difference is pretty small, but yeah, they're both awesome. All right, Joe, what's your next choice?
My next one. So, what is this? My third one. I'll go Superman from BVS.
Oh,
That's a little bit out of the box thinking, but here the caveat would be, I would have loved to have chosen the Superman suit from the original version of Zack Snyder's Justice League, the deleted scene from the Blu-ray of Joss Whedon's Justice League. I think that suit looks perfect in that scene. It just doesn't look great in the rest of the film. But I think it's like a better version of the BVS version. But in movies we actually got, I love the BVS suit. I really do. It's not it's not a thing with the trunks or no trunks. I really could care less about the trunks. I just love the colors on the BVS Superman suit. I think they did a good job of making the blue more vibrant than it was in Man of Steel. And I love the logo. I love the texture of the suit. I have never been a fan of the S on the back of the cape. I know that's probably like weird thing to care about. I just feel like it's
Why
redundant.
do we have this guy on?
Yeah.
I feel like it's redundant to have the S on the back of the cape for whatever reason. And it's not a deal breaker. I could care less. It's not like, again, these are not things that make me hate the other suits. I just think the BVS Superman suit is perfect, like a perfect combination of like, yeah, you get the dark muted colors of Man of Steel, but they realize, let's go bright and vibrant. I know BVS is a darker movie, blah blah blah, let's not talk about the movie, but I still think that suit is awesome. I love it. I think it's a great modern version of the Superman suit. I think Cavill looks great in it, and I had to put a Superman suit on the list.
All right. Cool. Brendan, thoughts?
I wanted to get a Superman suit into my list, but I just couldn't compared to the other ones. And I mean, I find with Superman, like, I know it might be sacrilege and everything, and I just had a joke go at you about the the logo on the cape, but it's just, I mean, even the Chris Reeve one, it's just so basic, you know what I mean? And a lot of the Superman costumes for the longest time were just literally like blue leotard, red trunks, red cape, red boots, and that was it. Like,
Yeah.
I do like, I very much like the Cavill suit, like how it's got that texture to it and everything. If I was going to pick a Superman one, and it's because it's so brief, I didn't include it on the list, but it was very much in there in the mix for a while, because it just gave me so much joy to see it in live action, and it was like, holy crap, they actually did it. And that was the suit from the opening scene of the pilot of Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
Even as brief as it was, that suit made me so happy. But look, I'm glad Super's got a mention so far. He may get another one. I don't know. But yeah, no, good choice, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean,
really quick, Brendan. I'm sorry, Andy. I wanted to say, because you mentioned the Fleischer suit. Just because Eric couldn't be on the show, we were discussing what he would have. I'm not going to give you his whole list, but he had the Fleischer suit on his list.
Oh, did he?
Oh, that's cool.
He loves that suit. He has a really big love for that show, and that suit is really awesome.
Yeah, like I think maybe the Superman and Lois suit is possibly my favorite live action one. The only thing that kept it off is the fact that, like, they couldn't quite get the balance of the muscle suit right. Like, sometimes his shoulders and stuff were massive and you had this tiny little pin head, and they couldn't quite get the consistency there, but the suit itself was really cool. I even liked the one in Supergirl, how he had like the what would you call it? Like the clasps that come over the top, like that connect to the S shield. I thought that was cool as well.
Yeah, most people didn't like those clasps. They were different. I wasn't crazy about them. It was like trying to be different for different sake, kind of, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, and I think we talked about it this summer when we were talking about a lot of Superman, it's really hard for me to just pick any one Superman suit because they're all pretty good and they're all really similar. So I feel like no one rises to the top very easily. I feel like it's almost like there's no wrong answer because they're all pretty good. I can't think of one where I'm like, oh God, it's garbage, right? Like they're all pretty good. So the BVS one is like, yeah, that's a good Superman suit. I like it. The one from Superman this summer, I like it. The one from Superman and Lois, I like it. So yeah, it was just tough. I do not have a Superman suit on my list for that very reason of like, yeah, they've all been pretty good. And it's hard to pick a favorite, but I'm glad that one is on there for you, Joe, because it is still a very good suit. So I guess my third choice would have been Wonder Woman 1984. So we're just going to say that that's it, or do you want to back up?
Hey, as you said, it's your show, man.
Take a backup.
No, all right. Well, we'll do a backup. We'll do a backup for funsies. Well, which of the backups should I do? Okay, this is the one because I think it's the most interesting to discuss. One of my backups, the Catwoman costume from Batman Returns.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, no!
That was my next one.
Shit, do you want me to? Never mind. I didn't say that. Do you have backups, or do you want me to go pick something?
Well, I have the Riddler from '95 as a backup.
Okay, no, I didn't say Catwoman. I said the Riddler from Batman '66.
Well, there you go.
That's what I said. What did you hear? I think you're drunk. The Riddler from Batman '66, the television series, and obviously he had multiple looks in the series, but I am going with the actual suit and the bowler hat. The formal Riddler, if you will, as opposed to the leotard Riddler. Mm-hmm. It's the perfect look for the Riddler, and I appreciated that. In that show, he did go back and forth. You know, he had his action suit with the leotard, and then he had his formal suit. But that bowler hat and the 3-piece suit, he looked so sharp. I loved, and I know we've talked about it in the past, I loved the contrast of the green and the purple. That's something that Batman Forever didn't do, which I think was a little bit of a miss. Is because they gave so much purple to Two-Face, they didn't want to give purple to Riddler. But the purple and the green together in the 60s show for the Riddler, I thought was awesome. And I think it is like an iconic look. And it's one of those where like, no notes. Frank Gorshin looked amazing in that suit. And it, like so much of that portrayal of the Riddler, it helped define who the Riddler would then be for the rest of his fictional career.
I have one little nitpick with it.
Okay.
And that is when he's wearing the formal suit with the bowler hat. I can't even picture a time when he doesn't really wear the mask. Like, in my memory, or I mean, it could just be from the movie too, because that's what I've seen so much growing up, because it was, 30-something years without having access to the show on DVD or Blu-ray. But in the movie, at least, when he's the formal Riddler, he never wears the mask. He only wears the mask when he's in the leotard version. And I just wish he wore the mask more with the bowler hat and everything.
Yeah, I will agree with that. My perfect version is the bowler hat, the 3-piece suit, and the mask. But you're right. He tended to wear the mask with the leotard and not with the hat.
Yeah, which is odd because we know who you are. You've shown us your face already. But yeah, and again, the Jim Carrey one was very much like a lot of the Schumacher stuff. It was a 90s updated version of the 60s. I actually kind of like the green mask. I don't know. I just always thought that was really cool. And I kind of liked the shade of green a little bit more in Forever. But, it's splitting hairs, really. They're both awesome costumes and both, legit versions of the Riddler.
Yeah. Well, and in the suit bowler hat version, there was not a lot of purple. That was more of the black and green. It was the purple in the leotard version that you would see more.
Well, I'm just saying.
I still think the black looks good though with it.
Yeah, no, it does.
In a bit over 24 hours time, you might see a little bit more Riddler costume action coming your way.
No, I hope it's the leotard version.
Batman Forever codpiece.
Maybe.
But anyway,
let's just say it'll keep me safe when I'm running at night.
Oh, excellent.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean, so honestly, I loved both of Frank Gorshin's Riddler looks. It's funny, as a kid, I always leaned toward the leotard because it was a little more superhero-y. And as an adult, I think I like the bowler hat and the suit a little bit better just because it's a little more distinctive to him. But I don't think you can go wrong. And I just think that he looked great in it.
I mean, the real answer is John Aston wearing it with the mustache.
Oh,
that's the real version.
I respect that John Aston is like, yeah, I'll wear the leotard. And they're like, are you sure? And he's like, yep, I got it. It's fine.
if Romero's keeping his mustache, so am I.
Well, I was talking more about just his overall body shape.
And I know.
He's like, no, I am comfortable in my body and I will wear the leotard and you're going to like it. It's like, okay, good for you, John Aston. I support you. So, all right. Well, there you go. That was one of my backups. Moving forward, Brendan, what's your next choice? I honestly wouldn't be able to guess. I have no idea.
I don't know. Look, believe it or not, It's from Batman Returns.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's a female villain.
Okay. The Ice Princess?
Yes,
Hmm.
that's the one. It's not a bad costume, actually. Squirrely.
Actually, you know what? New choice.
Actually, we were talking about Aquaman. I'm like, how did I not choose the Mera costume? My God.
Also great. Also great.
Yeah. Look, Catwoman from Batman Returns.
Yeah.
The aesthetic of that costume was unlike anything we'd seen to that point. And I can't say the comics adopted that costume, but I mean, I'm telling you, it's only been in the last 3 months that Movie World have retired that Batman Returns costume for a more generic Catwoman one. Like, it has always been that Returns look, and I think to the general public, it is that look now. Like, there's just something about the black leather costume with the white stitching on it, and I can't even really explain what it is about it, but it just looks awesome. And we talk about John Aston in his Riddler leotard. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer was literally vacuum sealed into that thing, with a corset on and everything. And it's just, I can still remember the first time I saw it. It was an issue of TV Week here in Australia. The movie was like a month or two away from coming out, and it was the first time I saw what Penguin and Catwoman looked like. And it was that promo shot that they showed all the time of her, like, lying on her side, taken in the Penguin's den or whatever you want to call it, lying on the bed. It was used everything for promo, and like instantly I knew it was Catwoman. I mean, I knew nothing about that movie of like who's in it. I knew Batman was in it. I didn't know Penguin and Catwoman were in it because it was 1992 and I was 8. But instantly I was like, oh, that's Catwoman. And yeah, man, like that costume has stood the test of time. Like, it really has. I mean, at Movie World, they still sell plastic masks of that costume. It wasn't that long ago they were selling caps of that costume, the white and the black stitching. And I just think it's iconic. I mean, those stiletto heels, what she does with the whip in it as well. And I mean, I know it's separate from the costume, but the way she wears it around her body as well, it sort of becomes part of the costume as well. And yeah, it's an all-timer, honestly. I mean, to me personally, it's only beaten by one costume in the DC universe, and that's probably one I'll talk about next. But
Oh.
yeah, it's awesome, man. I love it.
Well, you said the comics haven't really adopted it, but that's not entirely true. The comics have adopted it here and there for the past 30 years. Like, but it hasn't become her go-to look.
Yeah, like it's not a mainstay. Like, I mean, I know they have touched on it, but it hasn't been a mainstay for the Catwoman look.
But it is definitely inspired comic looks over the past 30 years, and sometimes she just wears that. So yeah, no, it has definitely made its way into the greater Catwoman mythology. Anything to say about this one, Joe? Because I have some comments.
Yeah, I'll go first because y'all are more positive than me. Listen, the costume is iconic. In 92 when this movie came out, this costume was everywhere. Talk about Halloween costumes. I think every girl had this costume that year. I mean, it was everywhere.
It still is.
Yeah. So
you will still see it on Halloween.
With this is the general audience's version of Catwoman that they will always recognize first. For me personally, I think it's perfect for the movie. And it works great in the movie. For me personally, I'm not the hugest fan of the style of the costume as far as like if it was in the comics or anything like that. But for the movie itself, I'm not going to criticize the costume at all. I think it has become such an iconic costume. I don't even think it needs to go in the comics to make the impact it has.
No, that's true. Well, I mean, this was not on my list, but it maybe it should have been. I have an interesting history with this costume because, like you said, Brendan, I remember when we first started seeing things from Batman Returns. Obviously, I was so excited coming off of Batman in 1989. And the first time I saw Catwoman, I think it was a trailer or not a TV spot, but like they showed like a promo on Entertainment Tonight. And it was the first time I saw the Catwoman costume. And I was a little taken aback by it because the only Catwoman I had in my brain was Julie Newmar from the show. And so I was like, oh, that's really different than what I was expecting because I was expecting just Julie Newmar. And so I was like, I don't know if I like it. I was whatever, 12, 13, but it was so different that I wasn't sure how I felt about it. And then I saw the movie and, much like the movie itself, over the years, I've just grown to appreciate it more and more and more. And the same thing with the Catwoman costume. In the movie, I thought it worked great. And then I've really just liked it more as the years have gone on. And now it is one of my favorite Catwoman looks. And it has become iconic. Like you said, like 30 years later, it's still everywhere in, Halloween costumes, and it'll still pop up here and there. So it's like become this just integral part of Catwoman. But what I love about it is it was a bold redesign at the time, especially considering what we had seen with Catwoman in the show and in the comics. It was a very bold choice to go with this stitched up version. And it turned out to be a really brilliant choice because it worked. And what I loved about it was the perfect visual metaphor for the character of her stitched up psyche. And it's so brilliant the way in the movie that as the movie goes on, those stitches start to come undone, just like she's coming undone. And by the end, they're everywhere and she's a mess. And I was like, what Tim Burton, man, I freaking love him. Like, so brilliant to be like, the costume is her. The costume is her mental state. As she continues going down this road, it unravels, the costume unravels, so does her psyche. Brilliant. And it just looks cool. So yeah, I absolutely freaking love this costume. And going from when I first saw it going, weird, to now being like, yeah, they nailed it. Tim Burton's smarter than me.
I just said in the group chat, I know Joe's seen it, the image that I was talking about, the promo image that was the first one I saw. And still to this day, whenever anyone mentions, Catwoman, particularly Batman Returns, like that's the image. It is just burnt into my brain and has been since May 1992.
Yeah. Yep. So no, great choice. Joe, what's the fourth one on your list?
I'm kind of like figuring out what backups I want to do or what. So I will go with Nightwing from Titans.
What?
I'm
just kidding. I expected that.
Yeah, I love the suit. I think it's perfect. Again, it's hard because now I got oh no, I don't have two Nightwing. You had the other one from Titans, so I'm glad I don't have two from Titans. But listen, we talked about it before. The Titans suits are all on point. I just you'll look at it, it's Nightwing. No notes. It's just that's who Nightwing is. That's what he looks like, and I love it. And on a TV budget, they're nailing these costumes more. I mean, a streaming TV budget, but they were nailing these costumes more than most live action movies do. I love it.
It's wild.
Yeah, and I mean, people could say like, yeah, there are seams in the costume and this and that to move in it, whatever. But when you're watching the show, you don't see those seams. Like, yeah, if I'm looking at still pictures of just the suit, yeah, okay, it's probably not the best quality, on par with these movie budgets. But you know what? When I'm watching the show, it looks great.
Yeah, I mean, this was from the second that show started, we were like, are they going to do Nightwing? And this is truly our first live action Nightwing costume, isn't it?
Absolutely it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, obviously the Batman and Robin costume was like Robin, but kind of Nightwing, but this is the first official one. And yeah, like we already said, Titans, they nailed it every time. And the Nightwing costume was great. The only reason I picked Robin over Nightwing was because the Nightwing costume is just a little bulkier than the Robin one. And that was the one thing I wish they could have figured out, but it's a minor nitpick in what's otherwise a really great suit.
That signed photo looks pretty good framed on your wall though, Andy.
It sure does. It's right here behind me. It's amazing.
I love the Tim Drake costume. I mean, I think that costume to go so different from the the perfection that was the Dick Grayson Robin suit. I think they did such a good job with the. I mean, we've all talked about a Robin suit, and we probably could have added more.
Yeah. Yep. No, so I'm glad you picked it. It is so funny that we gave so much love to Titans because I literally thought, oh, I'm going to be the only one who thinks of Titans, but I should have known better.
Oh, I would have loved to have picked Dove and Hawk, and I mean every costume out there. It's hard.
I know.
Stroke.
I know.
Well, yeah, like I said earlier, Nightwing was in the mix for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
other thoughts on
after
that?
all these years, we've only had one live action Nightwing costume. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Anything else to add, Brendan?
Not really. You guys have pretty much like covered it. I mean, yeah, like you can see the seams and it's a bit bulky, but who gives a shit? Like, did you see the last two Dark Knight movies? Batman's costume in that, my God. It's all seams, but yeah, I mean, it's great. And yes, it's our first live action Nightwing costume. I really hope it's not our last. And I also really hope we don't have to wait too long for another one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep.
All right. Well, for my next choice, I am going with the fastest man alive. Going with the Flash. And I'm going with the Flash, the 1990 TV series.
I knew it.
I think I have said it before on the show is we have gotten quite a few live action Flashes, cinematically and on television, and I like those suits. But somehow, in my opinion, the best suit is still the first suit from the 1990 show. It was just, I think, such a great look of the Flash. It was certainly the Flash by way of Batman 89, like the whole show was.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. I think it looked great. Like the Flash suit looked great on film. It looked great in the show. It looked like a movie suit that was somehow on TV. And yeah, like there's something about it that I like more than what Grant Gustin wore, or any version of the Grant Gustin one, or even the different Ezra Miller ones. Like I like those suits, but for me, none of them topped the 1991. And much like what you were talking about with Catwoman, Brendan, I distinctly remember must have been the summer of 1990 buying Comic Scene magazine, and in Comic Scene magazine they had a bunch of fold out posters, and I pulled out the fold out posters and I unfolded it, and it was like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the movie I just loved that spring, and then I flipped it over and it was the Flash. And if my brain could have exploded, it would have, because I had no idea this was coming. I didn't know this was being made because it was 1990.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, they're doing something with the Flash and he looks amazing. And then it was because, sure enough, that fall, the show was coming. And yeah, it's just a costume that they absolutely nailed. And I still just absolutely love it.
When you said Flash, I knew where you were going. Because I know you. Honestly, one that I was toying with but didn't make the list was like the Flash suit from the last one or two seasons of the CW Flash. I think that one was on point. I'm surprised it took them so many seasons to get it right.
Yeah, they certainly got better every season, but I feel like they never landed on one that was truly perfect.
But yeah,
but also I didn't watch the last couple seasons, so maybe
those the last great. One. Yeah, the one particularly in the second last season from memory because it's been a while, but it was pretty spot on. But it's like you said, it's very much the Flash by way of Batman 89, and I can't unsee that. I mean, Bob Ringwood did the costume, didn't he? I think Ringwood did the costume for it too.
Okay.
He's right so close. I'm 99% sure Bob Ringwood did the costume for the Flash as well.
Well, keep talking and let me find out.
I will. And look, and talking about the Flash too. I mean, it was great to have John Wesley Shipp back. All those years later, in the Flash universe with the CW Flash, and he's always been up for it. And it's a show too. To be honest, I've never seen it all the way through. I acquired a copy of season 1 back around the time, they were making the first season of the CW Flash. So like around that 2014, 2015, I want to say. And I know I watched a chunk of it, but I kind of just fell off watching it. Not to say it wasn't good, because it really was. Like, I enjoyed it. It's just I just didn't have the time to go back to it. But I would love to watch it fully one day. And yeah, I think the aesthetic, from memory, the whole show, it kind of felt like a like a blend between Batman 89 and Dick Tracy that came out around the same time. And that's not a bad thing, because I think the aesthetic of Dick Tracy is awesome. I think it is legitimately how everyone says, oh, it's a comic book come to life about all these comic book movies. I legitimately, hand on my heart, believe that Dick Tracy is the only one that actually looks and feels like a comic book come to life. Even after all this time, I think they completely nailed that. And for 1990, that's awesome. And this suit definitely falls into that category for me. It's sort of this mind meld of 89, Dick Tracy, and then this Flash falls right in between those two.
Yeah. So, fun fact: Bob Ringwood did not design the costume,
he did.
But on paper, the designer was Dave Stevens. Have you heard of Dave Stevens?
No.
Dave Stevens was the creator of The Rocketeer.
Oh, okay.
So he did the actual on paper design, and then the suit was built by Stan Winston Studios, overseen by Robert Short. So
there you go.
I love the Rocketeer connection too. So 89 was Batman, 90 was the Flash, 91 was the Rocketeer.
Yeah.
How cool. So yeah, very interesting. But yes, of course, I'm sure the assignment was, okay, we're going to do a Flash TV show, make it like Batman, which again, for me, not a problem. Joe, any thoughts on the Flash costume?
No, I do like that costume. I actually I considered his Jay Garrick costume from the later seasons of The Flash. Because I really liked that costume. And he also reprised that in Stargirl, I believe. Really liked that version of the costume. I thought it was cool that they had him come back as Jay Garrick. And Brendan, you're right. The later season Flash costume is pretty perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I fell off the show by that point, so I don't even think I even realized that costume was what they were using. But yeah, I have no issue with the 1990 costume. Not one I would pick just because it is, like you said, it's the Batman 89 version of the Flash suit with the muscles and everything like that. But John Wesley Shipp was a big guy. It's just not what you would normally think of when you think of the Flash from the comics. So that's the only like nitpick I would have for it. But you look at it, it's the Flash. There's no mistaking that it is the Flash.
I mean, the promo shot. Sorry, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna send you this promo shot, and it was the promo shot they used freaking everywhere.
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
I'm sure you do, because it was like the shot. But when I still look at this shot and go, God damn, that looks so good.
It's the shot probably that's on the cover of the Blu-ray. I put the Blu-ray a couple years ago, and I've been meaning to sit and watch like that show all the way through, because I've never seen all of it. When it was on DC Universe, I think I watched like 3 episodes.
I mean that shot. I would still put that poster up in my room right now. Sorry, Catherine. We're gonna look at John Wesley Shipp as we do it.
I don't think she might not have a problem with that.
Just have to, not put it over the poster of Patrick Wilson you both have in there.
Well, there's room for more than one poster.
Big ceiling.
All right. So anyway, that's number 4, The Flash from 1990, and that brings us to our final choices, right?
I believe so.
So let Brendan go first, since he doesn't have any backups, I guess.
Yeah, slacker.
Look, I apologize. Look, this will surprise no one, and I'm going to do a cheat like you did before, Andy. With
what? I didn't cheat. What are you talking about?
With your Black Manta costume, and that for me, I mean, it's Affleck's Batman costume. It's my favorite movie costume of all time. It's my favorite Batman costume of all time. It is literally still the only, I've said it how many times this episode, ripped from the pages of the Batman comics, and it worked. And so I'm sort of choosing, BVS and Justice League, because I liked how big and bulky and menacing it looks in BVS, but I also don't mind the slightly trimmed down version in Justice League as well. I think they're both pretty perfect. So, my answer is yes, like you said, Andy, with Black Manta. They're both awesome. And I don't want to go on a tangent, but I don't understand how it took so long to get that sort of costume for Batman, and then we had it, and where we are today. I don't understand that, and I'm desperately hoping that Brave and the Bold gets us more back into that ballpark than what we currently have, because it is absolutely perfect. It is Batman. The cowl is like the ears are the right length, I think, and yeah, I could gush about this costume all day. It is just brilliant, and I wouldn't change a thing about
Meh.
it.
No, I mean, yeah, I considered putting this on my list, but I was like, oh, we've gushed about it enough over the years. But I mean, I agree with you. I think that it's certainly the best cinematic Batman costume, but I still reserve space for there to be an even better one in the future.
Oh, I'd love to see it better. Don't get me wrong.
As much as I love it, and I do love it, I still think that there is still a little bit of room for improvement. I still think we have yet to see the ultimate live action Batman costume. But for now, yes, I think it's BVS. Personally, I think the BVS one looks the best. But I didn't mind the Justice League one either. So no, I mean, yes, it's an amazing looking bat suit. When we saw it, we all lost our minds, and it's the top of the heap as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I think the only way you could better it is if he, like with Superman, they bring back the trunks and give him a yellow oval. I mean,
well, that's what I said. I was like, I like a little bit of a longer ear. I don't like the big fat bat emblem. So like for me, they're like little tweaks that I would make, but overall, like they're tweaks. The cowl is so good, and it looks so good on Affleck.
oh, doesn't it what? And I
Yeah,
love like
so
the McFarlane 1/3 scale cowls. I mean, they haven't done a BVS one, but they've done a Justice League one, and I love it. I can just look at it all the time in my office. It's so cool.
just staring at it
Pretty much.
longingly. Yeah,
I mean,
that's
all
fair.
of them are awesome, but yeah.
Yep, I feel you. Joe, what do you think?
No, I love the suit. I figured one of us was going to include it, so I kind of left room for others instead. I love the suit so much. Eric will fight you on the Justice League being interchangeable with this one. He hates the Justice League suit.
Well, it's a good thing he's not here, isn't it?
Yeah, he can't defend himself.
I don't understand why he hates it so much. It's really funny. But I am with Andy. I think a couple of tweaks to this one would make it probably perfect if I could see it. I don't need the yellow oval. I think the Hush logo on it would be really cool. I don't hate this logo. I think it works for. I honestly think it works probably more for like the body type of Affleck. The big chest, the big logo. It works. I love it. I would have loved to have seen, if we got more movies with Michael Wilkeson designing the suit in that, in the Snyder movies or whatever they were doing next. I would have loved to have seen what tweaks they made to it. So unfortunately, we don't get to see that, but we still have a near perfect Batsuit for the first time. And yeah, again, one that just is a Batman suit. Didn't try to be more than that. That was what it was. So yeah, I love it.
Yep. It's a great suit. I mean, yeah, I've got the poster on my wall and I'm just staring at it. And yeah, I think that there is a pretty significant difference between BVS and Justice League. So that's why I prefer the BVS one. But I still do like the Justice League one. Awesome. There you go. Saving Batman for last. Look at you, Brendan. Good job.
Thank you.
And what, at least I know we all agree is the best cinematic Batsuit.
Yep.
Awesome. Joe, what is your final choice?
Well, my final choice, I will actually stick with the Batman theme and have probably my second favorite Batsuit on screen. I've probably ranked the Batsuits before, and I probably didn't even have this as number 2, but I love this suit. That'll change all the time, but I wanted to give some love to this suit because it's probably going to surprise you guys, but the Batman Returns suit. I'll end with Batman because it's a Batman show and I want to have a Batman on my list. But this is the suit that I've always loved since I was a kid. I feel like everything that was right with the 89 suit, they took a step further with the return suit and just made it, made the cowl fit a little better. The logo to me is better. I don't hate the logo on 89. I know it's become like a cliche to hate on that logo. I just think the yellow oval looks so much better on the return suit. I don't care that much about the abdomen armor look, but I think when I was a kid, it just made it look. I don't know if it was sleeker is the right word, but it just looks just I don't know tight. Like
It was a hell
like
of a lot easier to draw. I know that much.
yeah, that is true.
That's that's why they did it for Brendan's drawings, his doodles.
But I mean, something about the aesthetic of those movies as a kid, it was just that I never cared for Batman Returns when I was a kid, but the bat suit to me overcame all of that. I love the yellow belt, the way the yellow on the belt and the oval pop against the black. Yes, it wasn't in the comics at the time to have the black suit, but that became synonymous with Batman in the mainstream as Batman had a black suit. And I think they did a good job in that era, kind of like we've talked about ad nauseum with, the Robin suit and Forever, and how they pick a suit to fit the time and to fit the story and the movie aesthetic. I just love the suit. I don't think it's, on par with BVS, but I think it gave us what we wanted back then. And I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention it on this episode because I really do love it. And I think over time those suits have kind of I don't want to say they've gotten, overshadowed, but yeah, I mean the BVS suit is the one that we all gush about. I think I do like the Begin suit. I mean, there's so many other Batman suits we've been lucky enough to see, but I just think there's something about that suit that just screams to me, uh, whether it be just it screams Batman or it just screams different. Like they weren't afraid to do that yellow. And the yellow to me, as stupid as that is, that's what's missing from the rest of the bat suits. The contrast there, where everyone wants to kind of hide Batman into the black and the grays and all that. Even the BVS suit, it has like the gold belt, which is still cool. I just love the ambition of the way that they weren't afraid to give Batman that bright yellow oval and the yellow belt. Even the Keaton suit that we get in the Flash, they got rid of that yellow belt, and to me that was a big minus.
Yeah, same. I agree with that. You needed that gold to break it up.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Okay. Brendan, thoughts on that?
I think it to me it's tough to choose between 89 and Returns because I mean obviously 89 is iconic and no one had ever seen Batman look like that before, and Returns came along and it did, like, it just stylized it that little bit more, made it a little bit sleeker. I know it was more comfortable for Keaton than the first one, even though it still wasn't comfortable. It was an improvement. I have such a soft spot for it as well because, like I said, I mean, 89 I was 5, and come 92, even though I didn't see the movie until like sometime in 93, I still had all the toys and all the coloring books and magazines and posters and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know, it's there's something about like the I said, like the muscle suit, like how it's simply like literally it's just like the breastplate and then like the weird abstract looking abs. But there's just something about it that's so cool, and honestly I can't wait to see the McFarlane figure of it. I haven't seen it in person yet, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that looks like. I always, when I think of this suit too, I always think of and I've talked about it on the show before, my Batman Returns Ultimate Batman. The whatever, however many inches it is, because he's in that costume and he's not posable. He's just kind of standing there, and it really added to me just admiring and just looking at that suit a lot when I was 8-9 years old. So you won't hear any flack from me for putting it on the list. I reckon it's cool.
Yeah, I mean I love both of the Keaton Burton suits. I think they're both great. And it's funny because I feel like fandom is split over which they prefer. I've heard lots of fans say they prefer Returns over 89, and I've heard just as many say 89 is better. I prefer the 89 one. I like the more organic look as opposed to the Art Deco armored look, but I still love them both. So I feel like you can't really go wrong. I think that they're both great suits. So yeah, I love that you put it on here. And you're right. I do feel like as the years have gone on, they get less love, and it's good that we're giving them some love because they still look damn good when you watch the movies.
Yeah, I tell you something that does piss me off is in magazine articles and stuff when they want to reference Batman 89 and they show the photo of Returns.
Oh,
Same,
holding
same.
the gun, to get the clown. Absolutely annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, same. There's like this really awesome fan poster for Batman 89, except they use the Return
Yes,
suit.
I know the one you mean.
And it pisses me off because they are very different looking suits. Very cool. So, all right. Well, for my final choice, I am also staying in the world of Batman, but I didn't choose a Batman suit. But I am going with a suit that is so good, and I feel like kind of like what we just said for Batman Returns, I feel like it is somewhat unfairly forgotten in the great pantheon of live action DC suits. And that is Harley Quinn's suit in The Suicide Squad at the beginning of the film.
Oh, yep. Sort of like the military one, that style. Yes.
The red and black mission suit with the bazooka at the beginning of the film before she gets taken away and ends up in the big floofy dress. Mm-hmm. That is the best, in my opinion, the best live action Harley Quinn look that we have gotten. And I feel like no one talks about it, which is a shame because the suit is freaking great. My only problem with it is I wish it was in the movie more because that's how good it is. It is unmistakably Harley Quinn. It's the red and black. You've got the diamond motif throughout. You still get the pigtails that you had from the first film, but they are also red and black. So it is her, but she's like mission and action ready, but also looks like she just came off a comic page. So yeah, I just think that it is such a great look for her. And I remember leading up to that film, I was like, whoa, did James Gunn just like quietly give us the best Harley Quinn look? And he did. But again, I think that a lot like that film itself, we mention it, but we don't like dig into it. I feel like this gets lost in the fray, and that's a shame because her look is so good in the beginning of the film.
Can I tell you something, Andy?
Oh, sure.
Aaron and I were messaging yesterday. I told him we were going to be doing this episode, and he's like, "Oh, interesting. That's got me intrigued." And then he started sending me photos and of his choices. One of his choices was this version of Harley Quinn, and I was like, "Oh, I hadn't even considered that when I looked at the photo." But I'm like, he's not wrong. And then for you to pick it today is just like, I mean, yeah, meant to be. And the photo you've just sent, like, is spot on. I don't know. I really like it. And I do think it is the closest she's looked to comic book Harley. I mean, obviously aside from that quick dance scene in Suicide Squad, where she's literally in the old Harley Quinn costume. I don't know. I just think for whatever reason, that Daddy's Little Monster look from Suicide Squad just had such an impact on pop culture. I think that's what people still go to, for Margot's Harley, and in terms like costumes and stuff that we've talked about for Halloween and stuff. It's still that Daddy's Little Monster look. I really didn't like the look in Birds of Prey. To me, that was too far removed from Harley, like in the yellow and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, that's, like her playing the character was still spot on, but the costumes weren't there. But yeah, no, you're right. This one from the Suicide Squad is awesome. And I had not realized that her belt buckle is a HQ. Yeah.
That's just it. It's such a good suit that it's easy to forget because she didn't wear it long. And so there are a lot of these details. And that's why I sent the picture, because I'm like, no, like, y'all need to see it again, because there are details in this that are so good that I think that got lost. And I agree with you. The original Suicide Squad look, Daddy's Little Monster, is the iconic look.
Yes.
it really did help redefine. And I like that look. I do. But I think this look is better. And so the assignment wasn't what was the most iconic or what had the biggest impact on pop culture. It's what do I just think is the best? I think this is even better than the one from the first film. And it's like you said, you were like, oh, I didn't even think about it. And I think that's exactly why I'm
That's the
bringing it up.
problem.
It's because
Yeah.
nobody thinks about it because it was so quick. And that's why I'm calling it out here, because I want everyone to reevaluate, pull up that picture and go, oh shit, you're right. This is a great Harley Quinn look. Much like with Affleck's Batman, I think that there is still room to do an even better one in the future. But for now, I think this is the best it's been.
Yeah. You know what? After Aaron sending me the photo yesterday, and even you just talking about it now, me looking at it for the last 2 minutes, you guys aren't wrong. Like it is the closest look to the comic book Harley. It's the traditional black and white. It's got the the card icons on it and everything. It's it's pretty terrific.
And still very functional, but like unabashedly Harley.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, you've been quiet.
No, it's that perfect blend, like you said. It's functional, but still Harley from the comics. I'll be honest, I'm ashamed to admit, when you said it, I'm like, what suit was that? And I had to look it up because it is a great suit. I remembered it when I saw it, but it is quick and it's dark the whole time that she's in that suit for the most part. Even on the helicopter, they don't really fixate on the costume very much. And like we were talking about with Batman Returns and the Catwoman suit, I'm kind of in the same ballpark with the Harley Quinn suit from the original Suicide Squad movie as that one is like, yeah, that's the iconic one that everyone really loves. I'm not really crazy about it, but that suit for kids of our generation, or I guess I said that wrong. Like for for kids that were kids when that movie came out, that's almost like their version of what Catwoman was to us in '92. That costume is everywhere, and that's what kids were wearing for Halloween and still are. And I'm looking at it like, oh, like the one in the comics is much better. Like you should really like, and not for nothing, more appropriate probably for kids. But that, yeah, it's the suit that you are, bringing attention to. Yeah, good call. I never would have thought in a million years that one of us would have picked that. But like you said, that's why you wanted to bring attention to it, because yeah, it's a great suit. Unfortunately, we only see it for a good maybe 10 minutes in that movie. And I mean, I think all of her looks in that movie are fun, but that one is the one that is I wish she was wearing that towards the end, like she went back into it for the final battle instead of staying in the dress.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely agreed. And you mentioned the kind of the classic Harlequin look that was in that little blink and you miss it flashback in the first film. I like that, but because it was only for that quick moment, they didn't put the time into designing that one to make it look as perfect as I would have liked. So I would still love to see that classic Harlequin look in live action, where the costume is a little better designed than the glimpse that we got in the first Suicide Squad movie, which again, I was just happy it was there. I was like, well, at least you did it. Thank you for doing it. But I think that there's an opportunity to see that in the future too. But yeah, in the meantime, the Harley Quinn, the Suicide Squad, which I think is, it's a great comic book live action suit that I think gets slept on, which is why I wanted to call it out. So very cool. All right. That was at least 15 costumes we talked about, right? At least.
We could have probably talked about at least 10 more.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. Me and Brenda were just kind of talking when we took our break. I mean, I'm disappointed. Like, I didn't mention Deadshot. I didn't mention Blue Beetle. There are so many great ones that we've gotten in all sorts of different movies. I mean, the Suicide Squad movies alone brought us a lot of different cool costumes.
Yep. Agreed. Well, it's always good to have a sequel episode in the back of our heads. But there you go. All right. So some good costumes to talk about for now. Would love to hear everybody who's listening. Would love to hear some of yours that you're like, oh, you don't forget about this. So send those into the Wayne Manor mailbox. I would love to hear some listener favorites. But We do have a lot of emails. We're not going to get through them all. I'm just putting it out there because I probably only got a little bit longer before I got to go take care of some kids. But I at least want to get a couple emails out of the way. So let's see what's up with you, fine feathered finks, and crack open the Wayne Manor mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor mailbox.
You've got mail.
Darren, what is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
You're one hell of a messenger. This is all, Master Wayne.
And guys, so many of these are more hot takes.
Good.
Guys, I don't know what I started with the Batman hot takes, but it doesn't end. But I'm not mad about it. I think it's super fun, but it's like I had no idea the desire was there, and then we broke that seal, and we're still getting tons of them. So anyway, let's get a couple of these out of the way. This one comes from our pal Chris, the Objective Geek, and he said, "Here's some more hot takes that you'll find actually hot." Number one, the BVS Ultimate Edition is way worse than the OG. It's too long and edgy. It makes no sense that Clark is upset at Batman for branding thugs when he's literally killing them, even right before he meets Batman. I hope to never watch this movie again. Number two, the Dark Knight Batsuit and the Batman Batsuit are better than BVS. The BVS suit is cool, but those other two are functional. They look great on film, and they don't have fake muscles or a huge neck. Number three, the Martha Rescue is overhyped. It's a great fight scene, but just Batman beating the crap out of nameless thugs, no emotional stakes, no arc in the fight. I wouldn't put it as one of the best Batman scenes. Even the Dark Knight Rises Bane fight is a better fight scene. Keep up the great work.
Oh.
Woo!
I'm looking at 3 Michelle Pfeiffers there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I don't think he knows what the word objective means.
No.
We love Chris, but the hot take, Chris, could just be like, I still hate BVS. That's really all you needed to say, because that's what this is all about, boils down
What
to.
were the two costumes that he said were better than the BVS suit?
He said the Dark Knight and the Batman, which I cannot argue, or I cannot disagree more, but we asked
his
for
name
hot take.
has lost all credibility.
Oh.
I'm sorry. There was nothing objective about anything you just said.
He just really doesn't like BVS.
Apparently.
Yeah, but you know what? We asked for hot takes. Those are hot takes. Thanks for delivering them, Chris. I think you're barking up the wrong tree, at least as far as the three of us go. Personally, can't agree with any of them, but you know what? Like, I respect your opinion. The movie doesn't work for you. I got it.
Keep watching it, though.
Oh, my God.
All right. Well, here's another one. Hot take from Joel. It says, "Hey, Holy BatCasters, I really enjoyed the Hot Takes podcast. At the end, Andy and Brendan buried what to some might have been the hottest take of the episode."
Oh, well, I'm glad Joe's here for this.
Wait, what happened? What did I miss?
He
You
said
didn't miss it.
at the end of the Hot Takes episode, Andy and Brendan buried what might have been the hottest take of the episode, that Scott Snyder only wrote one good Batman story and has been given a free pass ever since. Counterpoint, have you read Gates of Gotham? This is my only counterpoint to it. I don't love his writing, but Gates of Gotham, I think, is a very good one. After that and Court of Owls, it is a steep drop-off. So if you had said that he had written 2 good Batman stories, I would be completely on board. Thanks for all that you do, Joel. Thanks, Joel. Yeah, Brendan, we slipped that in as like the post credits.
That was just to troll me and Eric.
No, not really. I genuinely do believe that. And I was actually surprised that Andy jumped to my defense too.
I kind of feel the same. Is like, listen, I like Court of Owls, but everything after that, I was like, eh. And some of it was better than others. Like, I didn't hate it all, but there were certain, like, I don't quite agree with the whole one of the best Batman writers of all time. That I can't get on board with. And but Joe and Eric, they both are big Scott Snyder fans.
Well, no, but I can be objective on it, because I don't disagree with that. I think he has gotten kind of a pass because Court of Owls is that good. I will say it. I don't think he has reached the heights of the Court of Owls. I will say, though, saying the Court of Owls is his only good story, I do take I do take that to heart because I like most of the stuff he's written. I will say, like, I don't care that much for his Justice League run. Metal is completely bonkers, but I do enjoy it for what it is. I think Black Mirror is actually better than Gates of Gotham.
I
don't know.
remember enjoying Black Mirror, but I don't remember many details other than I enjoyed it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I enjoy his stuff. Do I think he's one of the best Batman writers ever? I don't know. I tend to like his stuff. He resonates with me. Some people Tom King resonates with. You know, the menus and restaurants type of thing. Again, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I can see why. Like, he has a style, and if you don't go with that style, it's not going to work for you. Kind of like how Tom King doesn't work for me. I kind of feel like Snyder is Grant Morrison light, where like I most of the time can't stand Grant Morrison for whatever reason. I like Scott Snyder, but he does have a tendency to go a little crazy sometimes with his stuff too.
Well, what was fun is I threw a little shade at Death of the Family. And so me and Joe had like an offline back and forth about it. Which was actually really fun because you reminded me of a lot of things about it. But make no mistake, I didn't think it was a bad story. I just didn't like the way it was like everything's gonna change, and then like nothing changed. That was my big thing.
And like, weren't you guys talking about that with James Gunn recently about how like he amps up everything so much? Well, Snyder definitely does that. Yeah. Where every story he comes out with, he's like, "This is my favorite thing I've ever written," and blah blah blah. Like, and again, like he's a writer, he's gonna like the stuff he writes. I get it. But, but yes, it does sometimes. It's hard to keep our expectations in check when we hear that all the time.
Right. Yeah. So that's all.
With that. No, that's fine.
All right. I mean, we could go on, but you know, let's move forward. But yes, that was a fun little hidden hot take that only some people got.
Now I really wish Eric had been here.
All right, more hot takes from Dill Deets. It says, how's it going? I loved the hot takes episode. Super fun to see different or uncommon perspectives in a respectful way. Now I'm very standard in my Batman takes, except when it comes to movies. So here are a few. Number one, the Dark Knight trilogy fundamentally misunderstands Batman. He's not obsessed with stopping crime, mainly just the mob. On top of that, he plans to quit from the get-go. Number two, The Dark Knight Rises is essentially Batman Begins, but longer and less interesting. We see Bruce train up to stop the leader of the League of Shadows, who's assisted by another less threatening villain, and the twist is that the real leader of the League is a friend of Bruce's, who is going to use Wayne Tech to punish Gotham for its sins. Number three, I would rather watch Batman and Robin over The Dark Knight Rises or The Batman any day of the week. Say what you will, but it doesn't have John Blake or dress up Batman like a squirrel while Nirvana plays. That's a win in my book. Thanks for making the best Bat podcast around, Dill. All right, Dill, more hot takes. Thank you for sharing them. The Dark Knight trilogy fundamentally misunderstands Batman. I'm going to call that a pretty hot take.
Yeah.
That's pretty hot. The comparisons with The Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins, I have never thought of it in those terms, and that is a very interesting observation.
I think it's more that the story came full circle.
Yeah, I could.
That's how I took it. Yeah.
That's one of those things where if you like it, you say it's full circle. If you don't like it, it's repetitive. Or like, yeah, everyone, it's whatever you prefer, I guess.
Sure. But no, honestly, it's an interesting perspective, and I never quite thought of it that way. I see where you're coming from, but again, I don't necessarily agree, but I appreciate what you're saying. And then, would you rather watch Batman and Robin over The Dark Knight Rises or The Batman? I'm with you halfway.
Yeah. I'm with you to a point. Rises and The Batman, in my mind, both feel like homework viewing. A little less so Rises. So yeah, I'd pop Batman and Robin in before I pop The Batman in, just purely for time. Very interesting.
Yeah.
For me, it's just mood. I mean,
okay,
because I like The Batman, but for me, it would just be mood. Like, if there's going to be a day where I'm going to be like, you know what, I feel like watching Batman and Robin over The Batman. Like, that doesn't mean I think it's better, but they're very different movies.
Oh yeah, completely. But yeah, interesting. All right, well, thanks, Dill. We appreciate that. Next message here is from Gabe Nakamura. It says, "Hey, Holy BatCast crew, hope you're enjoying Halloween season. Which animated spooky Batman movie do you like better, Scooby-Doo and the Brave and the Bold, or Batman versus Dracula? I lean towards Scooby-Doo and the Brave and the Bold, but it's close. Both movies are very good at what they do. Thanks for answering my question. Keep up the great work, Gabe." All right, good question, Joe. What do you prefer, Scooby-Doo and the Batman Brave and the Bold, or Batman versus Dracula?
I haven't watched Scooby-Doo and Batman Brave and the Bold in a long time. I wouldn't have even thought that it was like a spooky movie, just off the top of my head. I watch the Batman versus Dracula every year, so I would have to choose that one. But I do remember liking the Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch it because I don't consider it spooky either. But I mean, it's Scooby-Doo, so there's certainly always going to be
some ghosts,
spookiness. Brendan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm more of like with you. I wouldn't watch this at Halloween. And like honestly, like Henry has the last 2 months or so fully embraced Scooby-Doo, has become a huge Scooby-Doo fan, and that cartoon is on in a house all the time. So in my Scarathon this year, there was quite a few Scooby-Doo entries. Not for 1 second did I consider putting on the Brave and the Bold one for him as, you know, as a spooky viewing, because to me I mean, aside from being, you know, Scooby-Doo in it, it's like it's a Batman no, absolutely Batman versus Dracula, which I will say I went to watch the other day. I was all psyched up, ready to watch it. I was in my office on my tablet, you know, doing some other things. I was going to put it on, and it wasn't on HBO Max.
Of course.
And I'm just like,
why would it be?
Damn it. So, I mean, I was also, because I didn't watch it last year. It was the first time in years I hadn't watched it as part of Scarathon. And I'm like, I'm not coming downstairs to put the disc in. Like, I can't at the moment. I'm doing stuff. So I honestly don't know if I'll have time to watch it. But yeah, I got screwed over, and I was all psyched too.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think Scooby-Doo and Batman the Brave and the Bold is a better movie. I love it.
Oh, it's great.
I truly love it. But yes, not necessarily for spooky season. For spooky season, I'm going to pick the Batman versus Dracula. But like, it's funny that you said that, Brendan, because Harley has recently discovered Scooby-Doo. And because HBO Max does have some Scooby-Doo Halloween movies that I put on, and she really liked those.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Another hot take. This one comes from Raymond O'Meara. It says, "Hey guys, I wanted to follow up on the hot takes episodes, particularly regarding the hot take that the Bat family tree has grown too large and needs some pruning."
Oof, here we go.
This one's on me. Since at least Damian, Jason, and Stephanie have all quote unquote died and have been brought back, I don't think anyone is going to buy into the permanence of a dead Robin anytime soon, but it would be interesting to see some tertiary characters get cut. Not really a hot take, but my suggestion is that if this happens, it should be at the hands of a character not named Joker, Bane, or Roz. It would be a great opportunity to promote one of Batman's underused villains to a more major role or higher stature. I guess my question is, if things were to play out that way, which of Batman's villains would you like to see make a permanent mark on the Bat family? Scarecrow immediately comes to mind for me. Thanks, Ray. Okay, so honestly, this is a very interesting perspective of like, okay, you're down with killing off some Bat family members. Thank you, Ray. We're in this together. But you want it to be a chance for another one of Batman's villains to step up and take out some Bat family, which I like that idea, because you're right. Joker, Bane, Roz, we know they can do it. Let's give them a rest. Let's let someone else get a little blood on their hands. So I don't know. What do you think, Brendan? Who of Batman's villains should kill a couple Bat family members?
For reasons I can't explain, but the first villain that popped into my head is Mr. Freeze.
Great. I'm into that.
You know, I think
what I was thinking.
You know, we've obviously had the Dini story woven into comics now, and that is the Mr. Freeze story. But he's still, you know, I still don't think he's had like his big moment, and I think he deserves it. And yeah, I'd like to see him go fully evil and take a couple of people out. It could be interesting.
Great. What about you, Joe?
Well, interesting enough that you said Dini's introduction to Mr. Freeze is in comics now. I don't know if that's true or not, because Scott Snyder introduced another origin for him in the New 52.
I remember that.
And I don't know. I know it's not Batman New Adventures, Brendan. I'm sorry. But I don't know if that is considered canon or not still.
I know it
because of the whole
was.
New 52 thing.
Yeah.
What's that?
I know it was for a while.
Yeah. As far as what, the Dini thing?
Yeah. Because I
Oh,
can't remember what it was, but I remember reading it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Snyder one basically just makes all of that a delusion in Freeze's mind, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah, I actually thought the Scott Snyder version was interesting, where Nora wasn't.
He was in love with
Yes.
Nora.
No, he was in love with her, but she didn't know him.
Yes, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty interesting. It was an annual, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
But I like that choice though, Brendan, because I don't think he has had much to do in the comics of late, or at least from what I've been reading, and I haven't read anything new in a while. But I'm curious why we can't have Ra's or Bane, because they haven't killed anybody.
I think Ray's point is just everyone
Because
considers Joker,
the big
Bane, and
bads.
Ra's as the three most formidable against Batman.
And
right?
they're used a lot lately.
Yeah.
So
I think that's all he's saying. Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, my first thought, and I hope I'm not stealing it from you, Andy, but was the Riddler. I mean, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I want Baby Doll
and Crazy Quilt.
Yeah, I want Baby Doll to curb stomp Jason Todd.
Find a way to put Crazy Quilt in there.
Yeah, I would just love to line up, Condiment King, Baby Doll, Killer Croc, Catman, and they all take turns curb stomping Jason Todd.
Magpie can be in there.
Magpie, yep. There's nothing left of Jason Todd's head, just a pile of goo. And suck it, Aaron. That's it. But no, seriously, yeah. I mean, yeah, Mr. Freeze, I love it. I love Scarecrow, Riddler. These are all my favorites anyway. I think all of them should get a chance. If I'm thinking of like a lesser loved hero villain to step up, I'm kind of thinking like Mad Hatter. Like I've always like had a soft spot for Mad Hatter, and I would like to see him, cause some real trouble.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
And P.S. Scott Snyder actually included Crazy Quilt in one of his stories.
Well, great. All right. This is a great Batman hot take. This is from Dave Smitty. It says, Batman vs. Superman is a better Batman movie than the entire Dark Knight trilogy. There, I said it. Suck it, fanboys.
Oof. There's no elaboration on that?
And so I saw this and I was like, "Oh, look at you! Okay, we got a Michelle Pfeiffer hot take. I love it. But when at the end where he's like, "Suck it, fanboys," I'm like, "Oh, are you like talking about us? Or are you talking about just in general?" And what's funny is he must have thought the same thing, because like 10 minutes later, he sends another email that says, "The Suck it, fanboys was not directed at you guys. It was just the greater fanboy community, and it's all in jest, nothing but love." So I was like, "Thank you for clarifying, Dave. I wanted to assume that anyway, but I'm glad that you confirmed." As for the take itself, although I do not agree, I respect the boldness of the take.
It's become one of those things where now, like, you either love one or the other. And I can see why someone that loves BVS would feel the need to, like, go against the Dark Knight trilogy, because most of the people that love the Dark Knight trilogy feel the need to shit on BVS. I love both, and trying to be objective as someone who really does love both, like BVS is one of my favorite movies. I still can't get on board with that, but I like the fact that he feels strongly about it. I just think the Dark Knight trilogy is near perfect.
I can see. So if you're looking at it from a stylistic point of view, I mean, we've already talked about the Batman suit and everything in BVS. Someone mentioned the Martha Rescue, but that was, Chris but wasn't very objective about it. I think in that regard, the way Batman looks and his fighting style and the world that he's in and everything in it, I can agree with that, actually. But then there's the other part of that too, where he's blowing people away and like just being relentlessly cruel and that kind of stuff. Like in that regard, I swing back to the Dark Knight trilogy. And I think
he doesn't kill anybody.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though. But I mean, yeah, it's a very hot take. And if I were to, really sit down and analyze it, like I said, yeah, I guess I can see where he's coming from, but I can't agree with it. Like, I think I'm with you, Joe. Like, I like both. I mean, if anything, I wish they were both better than they are. And I mean, I already like them. I wish BVS was not as maligned and told a slightly better story in a more approachable way. And I wish the Dark Knight trilogy was, that third part could stand head and shoulders with the first two, when for me it doesn't. So neither are perfect, but I like them both the same as you.
I think that's a good way of putting it, Brendan, as far as like, listen, I can't agree with the overall take. I think that the Dark Knight trilogy are frankly better movies than BVS. I do, but there are aspects to BVS that I like better than the Dark Knight trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll agree with that too.
So I can kind of see that.
Imagine the Dark Knight trilogy with the aesthetic of BVS.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, that's almost not possible, but just like, yeah, there are things about Batman that I think BVS got right, and I think there are things that the Dark Knight trilogy got better.
I can't remember where I read it the other day. If it was just one of those random things that the Facebook algorithm seems to think that I want to see these days, as opposed to stuff that my actual friends are posting. But someone said, imagine if Affleck had have been cast in Batman Begins and was Batman throughout the Dark Knight trilogy.
Wasn't that one?
That was on the last episode,
one of us,
wasn't it?
Yes, that was on the last episode. No, it came through.
You on that?
It was a hot take. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Never mind. I thought I read it on Facebook. Complete brain fart. But yeah,
it was awesome. It was on the last episode.
It's been a busy week.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to do one more email, and then the rest are just going to have to keep on waiting. It just is what it is. This one's from Jonathan Mercado. It says, hey there, I'm late to the party because I'm not on social media, but I wanted to share my hot takes. Number one, The Flash didn't need to have Michael Keaton or Batman attached to the film. The Flash should have just died on the spot without Keaton, which we know it did. Number two, BVS, as much as I enjoy the film, should not have happened. We should have gotten a live-action Dark Knight Returns with Affleck in the lead, possibly directing the film. Oh, yes, and Lego Batman didn't need its own film. Much love to you guys. Keep up the great talk. Sending love to your families. John. Is that you clapping, Brendan? On
yep.
The last one?
Yep.
Well, then, yeah, obviously, you agree with the Lego Batman take.
Yes.
Joe, where did you land on that?
I mean, honestly, like, who gets offended by the Lego Batman?
Just Brendan.
Shit.
Oh man, Brendan. It's not one that I watch all the time, but dude, it's Lego Batman. It's not taking away from any other Batman movies we're getting.
No, I know.
It's so like, I don't know. I find it very fun whenever I do watch it, but I don't watch it very often. But it's fine. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't really have an opinion on Lego Batman as drastic as maybe someone should. I don't know. Yeah,
it's so funny because I get where Brendan is coming from, which we talked about, but I just can't feel that strongly about it.
Yeah, like I just, didn't watch it and carry on with my life, I guess. I don't know.
Yep. But no, fair enough. Other ones. I'm a little confused about the Flash thing. It sounds to me is that he's saying is like, they just shouldn't have made a Flash movie at all, is what I'm hearing. Because it said the Flash didn't need to have Michael Keaton or Batman attached. The Flash should have just died on the spot without Keaton, which we know it did.
Yeah, it sounds like the movie overall
Oh, he's saying the movie itself should have died.
Yes. I think that's what he's saying. I'm a little confused by it, but that's what I'm getting from it. Which hindsight is 2020. I'm so glad we got it, but
I still like it. I still like it as a one-off. It's like a one-off epilogue of the Snyder universe. Like I don't know.
Yeah. It is. And then BVS, as much as I enjoy, should not have happened. We should have gotten the Dark Knight Returns. I half agree. We've talked about it in the past. Is I feel like as much as I like BVS, there was a better, more accessible Batman Superman team up movie that should have happened that was not BVS.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Dark Knight Returns should have been it.
No.
Well, I think because Snyder wanted to make a Dark Knight Returns movie, which he's been very clear about, he kind of used that as his opportunity to make one or his spin on it, and that was probably the wrong choice. I mean, again, I love BVS, but I see where maybe that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah. I do think that, yes, like if you take away the whole extended universe piece of it and just go, oh, Snyder and Affleck should have made Dark Knight Returns. Yes, I think that would have been great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, more akin to his like 300 and Watchmen.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, there are plenty of emails left. We'll get to them eventually, but thank you to everybody who's written in. Again, I want to hear some of your favorite live action DC suits. So send all those emails to holybatcast@rf4rm.com. And that'll do it, gentlemen. This has been a blast. Such fun. Joe, thanks for making the time when Eric couldn't.
Oh, of course. I'm obviously better than Eric. I don't even know what he's doing. He's just,
we see the real commitment.
He's probably just watching The Conjuring again or something.
That's fine. In all seriousness, Eric, we miss you. Jamie, we miss you too, but the show must go on. But I'm glad this worked out. Joe, always a pleasure. And it was great chatting. Speaking of, where else might we find you these days?
No, thank you again for having me. It's always fun talking with you guys, even Brendan.
Get a little jab in there.
Hey, it wouldn't be me and you on here. I can't help myself. I love you, Brendan. So you guys can find me if you want on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd as JForn11, and on Facebook as Joe Fornarotto, FORNAROTTO, and the podcast is The Fire Rises, a Batman podcast.
Excellent. Brendan, thank you as always. I'm glad that you had some time this week that we could do this. It was a blast.
Yeah. We were just talking the other night and we finished recording and it's like, hang on, I have most of this week off work. I can record during the week. So yeah, it was good. So yeah, I mean, obviously you can find me on Facebook in the Real Fans groups. And yeah, like you said earlier, Andy, check out the Conjuring podcast we did because it was a lot of fun. And you tell you what, if Eric was just watching The Conjuring again, I wouldn't begrudge him that. I mean, those movies are so good. I wouldn't blame him for choosing those over us. And Joe, look, you're here as well.
No, I'm here.
Joe and I genuinely love each other. We have a healthy respect for each other. We're really good friends, but we just hang shit on each other all the time. I mean, we all do, to be fair, but
I mean, it's true.
It's either I always find that it's either me or Joe or the whipping boys.
So we have
and then we do it to each other. Yeah.
Well, I always like when Joe goes on his old man rants. Those are fun.
Yeah.
I keep them away from the podcast for the
That's
most part.
true. You keep them just for the inner circle, which we appreciate.
Yeah. And I have a complete geriatric moment and quote something that happened on the last episode that I forgot happened on the last episode.
I saw this thing on Facebook. No, you didn't. Anyway, y'all, I already told you guys where to find me. Thank you as always for joining us. Please do follow or subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And also, if you love the show, a 5-star rating would be awesome. It would mean a lot. It's super easy, doesn't cost a penny, and it does help us. Find the show on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Holy BatCast. And if you've got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, that email address, again, is holybatcast@rf4rm.com. Our theme music was created by the talented Gaurav Venkateswar. You can find his work at gvtunes.com. That'll do it. Thanks for joining us. On behalf of Brendan and Joe, I've been Andy. We'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Holy BatCast is not affiliated with Warner Brothers or DC Entertainment. The views and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for. And hopefully Joe will be able to sleep after watching the Insidious movies.
I watch them during the day, so I'm
That's smart. That's smart.